Yeah.
Arsenal Newcastle yesterday, two things. One, Arsenal are really good. They looked pumped up. They looked ready for the game. They looked like we are going to set an agenda from minute one when they started the game. I liked that about them. Like they were in their faces. On the other hand, Newcastle are atrocious. Our team should not play that way. It's like they were 10 men after 2 minutes in the game. Like, come on, at least find 2 passes. Like, just get out of your box. Not in the other half.
Yeah.
Not in the other box. Just get out of your box. What is they trying to build from the back and press? I'm like, come on. I know they are bad.
Yeah.
I know Newcastle are bad this season, but you're that bad. They were terrible.
Just looking at the game, you could just see Arsenal had one foot on Newcastle's neck right from the start. And Newcastle were trying to hoof the ball from their box, but it just kept coming back. And I think it was a really, really good combination by Arteta when he put on Rice and Jorginho so that Jorginho could sit in, then Rice could go on and help Odegaard. That made it so hard for Newcastle. And I think it was the worst performance for Newcastle this season. I've never seen such kind of a performance from Newcastle. And if you go back, it all started with when Trippier started to play badly. It somehow affected how Newcastle have played this season. From then onwards, it's not purposeful, but it somehow has affected.
Because he's had he's been iffy for maybe the last.
If you remember last
2 months,
season, for the last
December.
three months. If you remember last season when he was at his best, Newcastle are performing really well, but right now things aren't just working. As much as Willock tried to bring a goal back for Newcastle, things just weren't working for them.
Yeah, well, that encapsulates what Newcastle are all about this season, and especially for the latter part, when you talk about them from December to where they are right now, I think they have conceded 20 goals in around 8 games that they have played so far.
Yeah.
And apart from even Kieran Trippier, who has been looking badly this time round, Sven Botman just came off from injury, and so you would understand maybe he's not fully fit. Fabian Schär the same way. There's been lots of consternation about Dan Burn and how he's been playing this season, and so Eddie Hoy thought it better to bring in Livramento, who was of course going to have a tough task against Bukayo Saka yesterday, and we saw it in the goal that he scored in that game. And also Loris Karius, he was making his first start for a very long time.
Yeah, but he was actually one of their better players.
Yes, he was.
I thought he was one of their much better players.
Decent.
Yeah. So I feel like there were so many issues with Newcastle, but the big point was just how fluid Arsenal looked like in the offensive end, because you understand, yes, they're coming off a loss at Porto, which showed them how to be street smart, and they come in with so much pressure, and how they maneuvered. I was surprised with their lineup, first of all, because Trossard wasn't starting the game, and then you look at the impact that Kai Havertz has in the game, then you feel like they are really on a roll. If Kai Havertz can make such movements and provide assists the way he did, then Arsenal are really good on the offensive end, and that's not even talking about the set pieces that they have scored this season. I think they have 19 so far.
Yeah, looking at Kai Havertz, I think his best position is playing in the front three. Playing in the middle field, it's not his best suit. I think he's more natural playing in the front three, because he's more natural to that position compared to what he does in the middle of the park.
I'm not even sure that the front three is really his position. I think he's to be honest, he doesn't almost have a position in modern day football.
Yes.
But he's such a baller, he's able to adapt and make himself useful.
Yeah.
I don't know whether that makes sense.
It does.
I get you. He's still doing what he did at Chelsea to some point.
He's thrown everywhere. You play up front, cool. You play left, cool. You play right, cool. You play in midfield, okay, ntangangana too, we'll see.
Yeah.
But his position is almost like no longer exists.
Position, yes. He was compared to Mesut
striker.
Ozil, and people are comparing him at Leverkusen to a hardworking Mesut Ozil on the position that he plays just behind the strikers and the kind of movement that he plays. So I think, it's right that he just doesn't fit into any position right now. And the kind of movement that he gives is so good that you lose more even keeping out. Yeah.
Because you look, I said this all through November, all through December. I kept saying, what will catch up with Arsenal? Is it their results which they seem to just squeak through? Or would the free-flowing football of last season come back? Now, since the turn of the year, I think the football is back.
Yes.
Like they are now, they've got the bit between their teeth. if you watch all the three teams that are fighting for the title, because really it's as tight as you'd want at the top.
Yeah.
60,
point.
59, 58. When you look at those three teams, the team that looks most fluid is them.
Yes.
Yes.
I think so.
Yes.
I think they look the most fluid.
Yes.
Last season, I spoke about Jorginho and saying, look, he would be a very useful addition because of his experience and just his ability to calm things down.
Yeah.
And something you spoke a lot quite a bit at the start of the season, this season, Sammy, where you kept saying, Declan Rice is actually really good when he's going
forward.
up and down.
Yeah.
And even yesterday, you could see when Jorginho plays, he's able to really move. And I think he gives them a mobility that they need.
Yes.
And Arteta, credit to him for making tough decisions. Zinchenko is looking funny. Please sit on the bench.
Out.
Yes.
Just-
He was injured.
Yeah, but it's a few games.
Yeah.
It's a few games now when you've seen him put Kiwior there and the guy is
That's the basics, right?
Yeah,
guy is doing
exactly.
the
He's gangly and all, but he does the basics. He defends well. He's not going to be an inverted fullback.
No.
Yeah.
But he does what you need done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's key.
Yeah, it is. It is. Because, yes, you say they are fluid on attack, but also even on the defensive end, you trust them more right now. They are the team
Yes.
that has conceded the least amount of goals so far. And even when you look at yesterday's game, for example, I think Newcastle had only one touch in the first half in the opposition box.
Yes.
And it was an offside for Miguel Almiron. That defensive line has looked so strong. And David Raya has already now gotten in. He's adapted well with the back four. Gabriel can come up with a goal. Kiwior yesterday, he came up with a goal.
Yeah, he's played the last 4 games.
Yeah.
He's played the last 4.5 games.
Yes. So on the defensive end, they look steadier too. So you definitely want to trust them now.
I like him. I like defenders who defend.
Yeah.
No offense to Zinchenko anyway, but I like defenders who defend. I like a defender who defends because he's supposed to defend.
This season, I'd have to give credit to Gabriel and Odegaard. I think they've been one of the key players in this Arsenal squad. Looking at how, yes, last season Arsenal said that them lacking Saliba was a big hit to them, but you really have to give credit to Gabriel. He's come up with the goals when they really need it. He's really good on the defensive part alongside Saliba. And Odegaard, he's playing free-flowing football. He's been on a upward trajectory from the start of January. I think he's going up. He'll be one of the best 10s in the coming months.